it would have been very easy to walk away and just say, I can't do this anymore. And I don't know what I believe anymore. I don't know if God is real anymore. But I knew in my heart that those things weren't true, because I did know who God was. I did know that He loved me. And I do know that He wants the best for me. Cape Coral is a great city. People think of Florida as the place where the old folks come to retire. Cape Coral, the average age is actually getting younger and younger. We have a lot of younger families that are coming down here. We believe that there's a tremendous need in our city for people to know and understand the principles and the concepts of who God is, and that without Him, that there is no life without Him. My name's Pastor Tony Cubello, and Pastor Resources has asked me to come and share my story. Our oldest son got into the drug culture at a fairly early age. Being a pastor's family, that was definitely a concern for us, because as all pastors' families, people were looking, people were watching as to how we were going to deal with it and how we were going to handle it. 2002, he was unfortunately shot to death in a random robbery at a local convenience store. And that certainly brought a crisis of faith into our lives. We knew that people were watching, and the pastor and his family now going to walk the walk and live what they preach. And I wasn't sure if I could continue being a pastor any longer, because I wasn't really sure what I believed anymore. I remember the police coming to the house with the victim advocate and sitting us down and just matter-of-factly telling us that your son had died, and we'll send you the paperwork. And that was pretty much it. And we were left to deal with all of the rest of the emotions and everything else that goes with it. 4 months after our son had died, to support us and bring food and what people normally do when a loved one passes away. And the thing that I recall the most was not what they said, but the fact that they would come and just put their arm around us and cry with us and stare at the wall with us. It was their presence. And now I realize that these people brought the very presence of God with them, that came and was a comfort to us. I remember being in church shortly after that, several weeks after that, and getting up in front of the congregation and sharing with them that I wasn't sure if I could be their pastor anymore, because I'm not really sure what I believed, and I had tremendous anger with God. And I remember one lady just getting up and telling me that they weren't going to let me step down, that they weren't going to let me stop doing this. And that was probably one of the greatest things that they could have done for us as a family, because that's how our healing began. Being connected to God, being connected with these people that loved us and just cared about us so much. I would just have these periods of rage and anger with God over why we had to go through this. It would have been very easy to walk away and just say, I can't do this anymore. And I don't know what I believe anymore. I don't know if God is real anymore. But I knew in my heart that those things weren't true, because I did know who God was. I did know that He loved me. And I do know that He wants the best for me. And then we saw the blessings that came after that. But we were looking for the blessings. They didn't just happen. Some of those blessings we had to go out and make happen. One of the things that I had an absolute passion for after my son had died was to make his death count for something And in order to do that, we had to go find some troubled kids who needed to know who God was and that God loved them and cared about them and was willing to help them and change their lives. And we were just able to make such a tremendous impact in hundreds upon hundreds of lives that came through this 6-month program. Just highly intelligent but mixed up young people were these young people that we met in the in-house recovery program. And it was just amazing to see what God did in places like that where we have been, in sharing His love and sharing with people the spiritual component of the recovery process is absolutely vital if anybody's life is going to change.
There are over 600,000 pastors in America. Half feel the demand of their calling is just too much. Over 30% feel the needs of the church go before the needs of the family. This Sunday, more than 400 pastors will resign because the role is just too overwhelming. We know that's not healthy, but hope is not lost. That's why we created Hope and Health Workshop. In this one-day workshop, you'll learn from an experienced coach, find the clarity you need to help your ministry spread like wildfire, and leave with practical tools that will unlock the secret to a healthy career in ministry. Your best days as a local church pastor are ahead.